Now, it's Pace of Play.
Come on, Glenn! Come on! Get your head in the damn game!
Putting the boys on the clock.
I guess we're playing for keeps now.
The fuck?
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 19th Hole Weekend Edition. Time for another uplifting, exciting segment known as Pace of Play. And I'm going to kick it off. I could not believe this, Lee, when I read that Tiger is making overtures to Elin, his former wife, about getting together, is really serious about wanting to get her back. He's a changed man, so on and so forth. She said, well, I'm going to consider it, but I want a prenup, an anti-cheating clause that if you're caught, I get half of basically your entire stock, which is about $350 million. She wants that, wants that in there definitely for her to consider, even consider possibly getting back together. And if this is true, and I don't know that it is, I think he's doing it not so much to get Elin back, but I think it's for the kids. But I mean, would he be giving all of this up? I mean, could she possibly want this guy back after what she went through and what he did to her? Are you serious?
Well, that I don't have any idea. I look at it this way. I really don't care. As a golf fan or in the media, I care about what Tiger does on the golf course. His personal life is up to him, and I really don't care about what he's doing or making overtures or rumors that they're going to get back together. The three things that I do look at, though, is for the kids' sake, I hope this happens. Overall, for his wallet's sake, I hope this happens. And if you saw the recent pictures of Elin on her beach vacation, for Tiger's sake, I hope this happens.
Yeah, that's a good point. But don't forget, too, real quickly, what she ended up with, walked away with $110 million when they split up. So, you add this thing. I mean, that's a lot of. I can't believe he would be down on one knee begging her to come back. And yeah, I'll agree to the 350.
Well,
I mean, you never know.
He hadn't played well in a while,
and plus
maybe
they're having sex. So the old saying is, why buy the cow when the milk's free? You know.
I don't know about that. I'll let you judge that. Paul McGinley,
recently
selected for the European captaincy.
Great pick.
For the Ryder Cup in Glen Eagle, Scotland, 2014. What do you think about it?
I think it's a great pick. Number one, he's a very good player. Multiple wins on the European Tour. Extremely well liked. He's savvy. He's been an assistant on their side for before. I think everybody's down with this pick, and he's a popular guy. He's a popular pick. I think it's a terrific pick.
I do too. I don't. I mean, do I think it's a great pick? Again, not really. Do I think it's a good pick for the European team? Absolutely. I mean, the players had their say and wanted Paul. He obviously has the experience. But I do want to read to you the last five captains, and I'll throw McGinley in as the sixth. And which one doesn't belong? Jose Maria Olazabal, Colin Montgomery, Nick Faldo, Ian Woosnam, Bernard Longer, and Paul McGinley. I mean, out of those six, you look at credentials, and Paul McGinley just doesn't stack up.
That's true.
But on this show, we've talked about the credentials doesn't necessarily mean you're a good captain. I think he's got, the buy-in and all those types of things from the players and the media over there and everything. I think he'll be a great captain. I think the interesting thing also is this could possibly set up. He's the first Irish captain ever. But if you think about it, it could possibly set up three consecutive Irish captains with Paul McGinley, Darren Clark, and then Padraig Harrington.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As the third one.
Yeah.
So as the first, it could really set up three in a row.
I agree with you as far as not having the top-notch credentials, but I think more importantly, he's got that 15th club in the bag, if you will. The players like him, and they're gonna really bust their chops for him, Lee.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I think that. Speaking of that, Jason Duffner, who's in the desert this week playing at the Humana Challenge, came out, was a little bit outspoken.
Now,
and
what have you recently called Jason Duffner?
Dumpy.
Dumpy.
But he's got a hot wife, because all the money he's got. But he is dumpy. He came out and said recently that he really thinks that the PGA Tour players should have much more of a say in picking the U.S. Ryder Cup team captain. And I could see that to a degree, but, let it alone. It's the USGA. That's the way it is. I don't think that's ever going to change. Sure, they could become vocal about it. They do become vocal about it, whether they like the guy, they don't like the guy, and, this and that and the other. But I think as far as changing the system, quote unquote, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, it's the PGA of America.
Not
PGA
the
USGA,
of America.
Yeah, and I know that you know that. But I like Jason Duffner. I really like his mentality and demeanor on the golf course, which really is don't care about anything.
Yeah, that's why he's a little dumpy.
I don't see how this is a good idea. As far as letting players talk in public or whatever it is. Now, if we really talk to Jason about what his ideas are, I could see maybe a 6-person committee that the PGA of America would commission to talk to and
do a study
and get input on and help out with a pick. I could see that happening. But as far as maybe what Rory McIlroy did and coming out in the public and commercializing it a little bit maybe and putting his his thoughts and favoritism behind one particular, I just don't see how that's going to be a good idea.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Biggest disappointment, we alluded to it a little bit earlier, what happened over in Abu Dhabi with fanfare and Rory officially now switching to Nike, of which we've known for months. But Tiger and Rory playing together, Martin Keimer in the group. We'll talk about the penalty maybe in the last segment. But what's the biggest disappointment that came out of that tournament? Rory missing the cut or Tiger missing the cut?
Lee, I think it's a 50-50. I think it's Rory missing the cut, obviously world number one. And I think it's a huge disappointment for Nike, obviously. They wanted him to do well and win the darn tournament, playing after the official announcement that he's a Nike staff player. But I think it's equally disappointing for Tiger, not only missing a cut, but for all the damn money those people gave him to come over there and play.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that penalty, and the penalty causes him to miss the cut versus make the cut, which could mean a lot over the weekend. I think the biggest disappointment is Rory McIlroy. With the fanfare and as good as he is, to miss a cut at in an event like that, I think people are going to jump on him about the switch, which I don't think had much to do with it. People are jumping on about the switch of the putter, which he has said that it wasn't brands, it was just because of weight. But overall, let's look at it this way. I think the biggest disappointment for me is the fact that Rory McIlroy just recently purchased a home down in Florida,
right,
that only has a putting green in the backyard. Tiger's has a 4-hole hitting course.
Thing,
I mean, that's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that is disappointing, but I disagree with you. I think the kind of shots he was hitting over at Abu Dhabi, I think those were equipment problems as opposed to swing things. But speaking about things, Lanny Watkins, a few years back, was the lead analyst for the Champions Tour on the Golf Channel. He left, is not doing much, played very, very little. All of a sudden, he's back full time as the lead analyst again for the Champions Tour. I don't think he was that great the first time. I don't think he's going to be that great coming back. And obviously, the Golf Channel had a problem filling the position. Oh, let's get Lanny. Let's throw him some money. And he agreed to it. I just don't think where this is going to be very exciting. He's knowledgeable. He's a former major winner.
You know what Lanny's first name is?
I don't. Lanny.
Jerry.
Is it Jerry?
Yeah. Jerry is his real first name. But anyways.
Well, how the hell did he get to Lanny? How do you get from Jerry to Lanny? Oh,
I think his middle name is Lanston.
Oh my goodness.
Jerry Lanston Watkins.
Goodness.
Anyways, let's look at it this way. This guy is credentialed.
He is credentialed.
I mean, you want to talk about a Hall of Famer, a former PGA Tour Player of the Year, a PGA champion, U.S. Amateur champion, 21-time PGA Tour champion. he's credentialed. I actually like him on the mic. He doesn't bother me one bit. But as far as a broadcast hire making waves, this doesn't make waves. It's somewhat,
I don't think so.
People will be indifferent on it and listen to him.
But again, it kind of makes you wonder why they did bring him back and maybe not look for a new talent, on-air talent.
He's no polarizing figure. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way.
He's not going to move the needle one way or another.
No. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Pace of Play. Stay with us. We're going to be back with more of the 19th Hole Weekend Edition right after this.